Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the lab. This is the 5th episode, and like I said last time, this is our very first interview. So with us sitting today is Haley Ouellette. And so, after being out in Arizona, she's finally returned to Ohio. She's graced us with her presence. She's here to she's here to talk to us a little bit about herself, which, you know, can be a little
she
fun.
has no problem doing.
It's going to be a long one. Here comes a 30-second bio. No, just kidding. So, Haley, for those of you who don't know her, why don't you give us a little bit of a background, kind of where you started and kind of where you are now.
Cool, yeah. I'm Haley Ouellette. I graduated from Covington High School in 2014. I hate saying that because I'm old. But then I have these guys sit next to me. It doesn't make me feel as bad, I suppose.
Go to your room.
Go off. After high school, I went to play softball at University of Northwestern Ohio. I played one season there, and then I transferred to Ohio University, where I walked on a softball team there and pursued a degree in exercise physiology, coaching, education, and nutrition. From there, I hung around a little bit, did a small internship with Ohio University's strength staff. From there, I went over to Ohio State University, did a small internship over there, and then I stepped into the private sector, where I worked for about a year before deciding to open our home here, No Name Athletics. Opened that during COVID, great decision by us, but here we are, we made it. Opened that in 2020, June of 2020. And then this past season, I got the opportunity to head out to Arizona to work for the Cincinnati Reds as their complex league strength and conditioning coach. We had a great season out there, made playoffs, and now I'm back in Ohio.
Very nice, very nice. So while you were out with the Reds, you received an award. What award did you receive?
Yeah, so somehow, I don't know how I pulled this off with my coworker, Nate Moreno, but we ended up bringing home Arizona Complex League Strength and Conditioning Coaches of the Year, which was super cool. We're both rookies in pro ball, so that was kind of unexpected, I suppose. But hey, did it. We'll head out to San Diego, California, December 9th and 10th to accept that award, and then we'll be right back here. Well, I'll be back in Ohio. He'll be out in Arizona.
Dang. That's awesome, though. Congratulations again.
Thanks.
So being out in Arizona, what would you say were some of the top 3 things that you kind of enjoyed out there, and what would you say were some of the 3 things that maybe you didn't like?
Top things I enjoyed. I liked being able to focus on one sport, just because stepping into the private sector, and I'm sure these guys can kind of vouch for that. I mean, you gotta roll with whatever's thrown your way. You get any and every athlete you can imagine. But out there, I'm working for a professional baseball team, so I'm focused in baseball, and I can kind of dive into, that niche a little bit more, that sport a little bit more, and the biomechanics of it. I don't have to kind of spread myself evenly amongst all the sports that I'm actively dealing with. So that was a fun change. Loved the weather, man. Loved the weather. Oh, it was great. It was great. Nice and warm all year, sunny all year. Can't ask for anything better. And then I just had access to really cool people and really cool opportunities as far as learning and furthering my education. Hoping that I can one day bring some of those connections I've made back here to No Name Athletics and give my people here access to those opportunities. One of the things I did not like, I feel like as an Ohioan going to Arizona, there should be a manual, this is Arizona. Okay? Don't touch these things.
Cactus?
Lots of different cactus. There's ones that
has prickly things
there's
on
ones
it.
that
it's pretty much given. Hey, don't touch this part.
There's a cactus called a jumping cactus. Okay? Bear with me on this one, because it's a wild one.
Please.
If you walk too close, the little things fling off, and they just attach to you. That's not horrifying. You're telling me that's not terrifying.
That is actually a little scary.
Nobody told me.
Yeah.
Nobody told me.
Except
How to figure it out.
Stuff.
Also, when you're out hiking sometimes, there are wild cattle. Not friendly. Don't approach them.
Did you approach a wild?
I did. A whole bunch of them. There were 9 of them.
Go pet it. Yeah, go pet that
There
cow.
were 9 of them. I was like, aw,
Can I pet that
cows. So I walked up to them. Shouldn't have. I didn't get ran over, but, they were less than thrilled with my presence.
What happened?
I mean, they just started making some awful noises at me, and,
Did you do it back?
I didn't want to turn my back to them, so I just, backpedaled to my car real fast. I was all by myself out in the middle of the desert.
She pulled over for this.
I did.
It's not like in Ohio when you see a deer,
Yeah.
a field full of deer.
Yeah.
Stop out, there's some apples, they'll come up to you. Not quite the same.
Yeah.
But, so that was, I don't know. I wish someone would have gave me, a pamphlet at least of, hey, here's what to expect coming to Arizona.
You could have
What not
Googled
to
it.
do?
I was in the moment. I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna interrupt the moment to, whatever. Oh, well. So, cows. Crazy
What?
cows.
What else did in your life? That's number one.
No, I didn't see a scorpion. I think they're like unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everyone talks about them. No, actually, they're... Never seen one. Have you seen a scorpion?
Only at the zoo.
Those little white ones I saw once.
Here?
No, in Arizona.
Oh. Anyways.
What else?
I should probably do something job specific.
But you liked everything about that job because you want to go back.
No, I know. That's why it's hard to think of something. I don't know.
That's fine.
It was.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. It was fun.
That's
It was
awesome.
nice to get. Not that I don't love what I do for no name, but being the owner. I opened it. We did this because I love coaching. Brandon loves coaching. All of us love coaching athletes. But then someone out of the ones involved has to do the behind the scenes stuff, kind of the crappy stuff that nobody really wants to do. And just being one of the owners, that falls on me. I have to sit down and do the invoicing. I have to sit down and do the computer work. And again, we love coaching. We love being on the floor with these kids. So nobody really wants to, step away from it to go do that. So out there, it wasn't that wasn't one of my major jobs was sitting on the computer all day. I got to be on the floor, literally all day long. And I loved it.
Can I get your feet wet?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's cool. So then on returning back to Ohio, how much time do you have here in Ohio right now?
So I will leave end of January to head back.
Okay.
Yeah, so fast turnaround, but got a lot to do in a short amount of time here.
You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. So going into a little bit back, your beginnings and everything at Covington and at OU, you've had a few injuries. So let's dig into that a little bit. So for some of the different athletes listening, Haley, why don't you go a little bit into some of the different injuries that you've had and I'll dig on you a little bit. I'll pick on you a little bit.
Absolutely.
But why don't you kind of give us a little bit of background onto that, and we'll kind of keep talking.
So when I was younger, I was a catcher, and just started having hip pain, whatever. And now that I talk about it, it sounds super dumb that we didn't know what we were doing was wrong, but we have no experience in hips and injuries and stuff like that. This was the first major thing that happened to me aside from snapping my arms in half at the same time. That was just a whoopsie. Anyone who was with me at school in junior high will just cackle at that because it was hilarious. But yeah, hips. So we went to a doctor. They're it took a long time to convince them that I wasn't joking about something being wrong with my hip. Finally, they were you have a tight iliopsoas. Let's do a release. And now when I say that, people are immediately what? That's weird.
I think I had that exact same reaction.
Just squints at me are you sure? I'm not perfectly sure. So they went in, did an iliopsoas release. They told me if I had that issue on my right side, I would have that issue on my left side down the road. So I might as well go in and release that one as well. So they did. Fortunately, never had any long-lasting problems on my left side, but my right side, the release just never took properly. Now I have a thread of an iliopsoas. So that's laundry list problems. There's one. Hip flexor, pretty shot. Can't do much of anything there. Mm-hmm. Moving on, still continuing with hip pain. Go to a new doctor. And basically everywhere we go, typical labral tear. Let's go in, labral repair, labral reconstructions. Eventually ended up doing the cadaver labrums. Just wasn't working. Had to choose to move on to a different surgeon, and then kind of bigger surgeries. So I believe this would have been my sophomore sophomore or junior year in college at this point. We had gone through all the labral repairs, labral reconstructions, everything you can do there. And my doctor out in Columbus was like, let's try a periacetabular osteotomy, which is not a fun surgery if you've ever heard of it. They basically just go in, they saw the entire right side of my pelvis into like a bunch of pieces. And it's commonly used as a correction for hip dysplasia. So when they sawed my pelvis into all these pieces, they flared it out a little bit more to cover the head of my femur just a little bit better. And then they took these giant screws and just ran them through my pelvis to just basically hold it in place. So I think I was in the hospital like 5-ish days with that one. That one was tough, just because, like, of course, having your pelvis sawed into pieces hurts. But the most uncomfortable part is now all your ligaments have to create new grooves to sit in. And not to get like too graphic or anything, but you feel those ligaments like cutting across all those now broken bones, trying to find a place to sit. And it's just not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. Recovered from that surgery.
Trotter's face right now.
Recovered from that surgery well, but once I began doing some more like physical activity, retore my labrum. And they're like, well, maybe it was compromised when we went in for that surgery. Let's try something else. And now at this point, going into that surgery, that was going to be surgery number 8, I believe. Go in, labral reconstruction, cadaver labrum put in. Start the recovery process from there. Feels really good. At that point, NCAA had disqualified me. We appeal because my doctors think I'm now like fixed, let's try playing softball again. I go back for this will be my senior year at Ohio University. I play through the fall. By the end of fall, everything had just absolutely gone to crap again. Couldn't really walk. Hip locks up. Like in parking lots, grocery shopping, like I just couldn't, like it was not a great quality of life type thing, let alone trying to play a Division I sport. So NCAA is like, sorry, you tried. Enjoy the rest of your senior year, but you're done. I hung out on the team, and then ended up with my surgeon in Columbus still. He was like, if you were my kid at this point, this is what I would do. I would do a total hip replacement. I was 22, and, I mean,
wow.
That's weird. As a 22-year-old to be told, like, hey, time for a total hip replacement. Took forever for insurance to approve this. I'm pretty sure insurance approved of it. Because, I mean, why are they going to approve a 22-year-old to have hip replacement? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think we, had to, reapply, 4 times or something to get this approved. They approved the morning of my surgery when I was in pre-op. So my surgeon was like, come in. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying to get through to them. You're going to go into pre-op. We're going to prep you for surgery, but if surgery time comes and, it's not approved, don't know what to tell you. We'll just have to send you home. Thankfully, it got approved the morning of surgery, and boom, total hip replacement.
Wow.
And since then, best thing I ever did.
Wow.
Best thing I ever did. I think I went back to powerlifting post total hip replacement. It's awesome. Outside of my hip injuries, I've had some labral issues in my left shoulder. I've had 2 labral reconstructions in my left shoulder. Just kind of looking into something's got to be wrong with my labrums. They're got them off Wish or something, Wish labrums, Dollar Tree labrums. I don't know.
Dollar Tree labrums. Get that on a T-shirt. Oh my gosh. So how would you say that these these trials and tribulations, the injuries that you've experienced, how would you say that they've affected you throughout both your your journey as an athlete, being working on your own athletics, your fitness, but also as you own a business.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say those trials and tribulations have pushed you to where you are now?
I think it's just, there's a lot of times that, and my husband has had his fair share of injuries and his fair share of just, crappy things happen to him and crappy situations. And, these guys have had their fair share of things that they've gone through. And it's just the point, there's times where, I think a lot of other people would have just, given up and well, this is the hand I'm dealt. Guess this is how it has to be. And just would have, accepted, their fate and maybe not gone on to do the things that they always wanted to do because of how things were going. But this is just kind of a testament to, find a way and figure it out, because if you want to do something, go do it. It's not always going to be, be flexible about how you get there, but be stubborn about your goals. That type of situation. But yeah, it's just find a way and get her done.
So if you have an athlete who's dealing with an injury, like at any level, how have you approached dealing with that and kind of, not just keeping them, moving actively, but like maybe mental health wise?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's where I saw the most effects for me personally, was mental health wise. Just because it's hard, it's tiring, it wears on you. And the biggest thing with young kids is, when it comes to like how they're feeling mentally, I totally get it. They bounce between, and I know they do. They bounce between, basically like a screw it. I'm just gonna play until either it goes away or I can't move anymore. And well, what if I make it worse? And they're just back and forth between that mindset. Like I get it, and that was every single surgery for me. Every time I get like a new pain from like a recurring injury, I'm back and forth between like more or less fuck it, I'm just gonna keep doing this. And no, like I have a future. Like I want to be able to play like with my kids one day. Like I want to be able to do this one day. And I think that's the hardest battle, is because like you'll start moving down one path, like staying in that mind frame, and then the next day you're switching gears, and then you just don't make any progress, period, because you just can't like stick to one. And that's where you just have to bear down. And at the end of the day, like no, like there's something outside of what you're actively doing, and you need to have a body that can sustain you through the remainder of your life and whatever you may move on to. So just kind of talking them off the ledge of just pushing through things they probably shouldn't. More of the times than not, it's that. But it's also, you got to find the line of hurt versus injured, and I'm sure you you know that one too well.
Oh, yes, I do.
Or being just uncomfortable and injured.
Yeah, you're gonna be uncomfortable in sport.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. How would you say you've approached training, like when you were out in Arizona with the Reds? Would you say you approached training the athletes differently than how you approached some of the maybe high school or college level athletes here at No Name?
No, not at all. And, talking with, my bosses and stuff, that's kind of a lot of the reason that they brought me in, is because of the background that I'm coming from, the level of athlete that I work with out there. A lot of the guys, it's their first time in the States. Some of them are 17 years old. They're young, and being that young in baseball, they're even younger training age-wise in the weight room. So nothing changes. The only thing that changes is some of them don't speak English. And that's like the biggest difference. But it's exactly like what we do here. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Like
that's awesome.
It's fun, and it's especially fun in the culture aspect, because these are guys that are going to go on, and they're going to be big dogs in the league, and you get to help build up their cultural foundation. You get to help set that base for them, so that when they are heading off to affiliates and they are moving up and becoming big leaguers, like you set that foundation for them, and you help them find their routines and know that they need to take care of themselves.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So I take it you picked up some Spanish then while you were down there.
A little. I don't know. A little bit. In the weight room, I'm pretty okay at Spanish. Mm-hmm. I'm not good by any means, but I'm okay. They understand me. Like, they know what I'm trying to get across. On the baseball field, pretty good. They taught me a lot of bad words. So I'm good at bad words. I'm good at making fun of you in Spanish. But like, if you take me to a restaurant or like a grocery store, absolutely useless. Absolutely useless when it comes to Spanish. If it's not baseball or picking up heavy stuff, I cannot communicate with you.
You have like...
But like, they're literally, like I said, like, it's the exact same here. Like, they're a bunch of grown kids.
They're kids.
Playing baseball, man. Love it. Absolutely love
it's
it.
Like
it's
having 10 riders around.
No, try 40. Try 40 riders.
Oh, man. So they all wear tight clothes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's so fun. It's a fun environment when they get going in the weight room, man.
I've run out of jokes.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's be repeating it in the next class.
So, and I won't say, like, I'm not going to say player names or anything, but there was one guy, and, like, he's getting his vitamins out of his little vitamin cubby, and we ran out of the regular multivitamins, so we had to put, the gummy vitamins in it. And he didn't like the taste of the gummy vitamins. Which, whatever, I understand that. Like, this is, like, a full-on, like, adult, like, married, adult, pro athlete. Like, I'm going to swallow these. Throws 4 gummy vitamins in his mouth and tries to swallow them. They're shaped like flowers or something. They're not, like, a good shape to try and swallow. Chokes on the gummies. He's, like, coughing them up all over the floor. And I'm like, all right, so let's not do that next time, because now I got to clean up your spit off my floor.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
No, it literally feels like just, like, watching these guys do stuff. Like, a lot of the time.
Oh, gosh.
Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
So how many headaches a day did you have then?
Not many. Not many. If I had any, I laugh a lot. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of laughs in through the day.
That's good.
They're
She
funny
must be
kids.
reading our group chat.
got me.
Y'all, no. Listen.
That's where the
They
headache came
have a
from.
group chat that doesn't have me in it.
Okay, hold on, time. In our defense, it was because you didn't respond for like 2.5 weeks when we really needed you.
You do not really need me.
Yeah.
What did you really need me for?
We couldn't
More
figure
little
out.
Debbies.
Yes. And we couldn't figure
What
out
was
what
it
to
for?
put for the fact of the day. We really needed Haley on this one, and she just, nothing, ghosted us. So, at that point, we had to make the executive decision, start a new group chat.
You want the bigger and better things, now you're going to get cut out.
Yeah, we learned real quick that we are nobody
Oh
in Haley's eyes.
goodness.
Oh, God. So that brings up another question.
I was probably out battling wild cattle in the desert.
She's probably running from a cow.
Unless you tell her we have a small problem, then she's calling you right away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Brandon hits me with the, so there's a small issue. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, the catering machine's not taking any more money. Can't figure it out.
You guys are idiots for that.
She goes, have you emptied the cash the drawer on it? Brandon goes, yeah.
Sure did. First thing I looked at.
It's just pouring out.
I wish I had a camera out here at the mailbox to see that once every 2 months when Brandon would check the mail and it was just absolutely stuffed with.
That's a lot of wasted footage.
Right.
It's a couple times. I got better towards the end.
I think you maybe got on him, and he started coming in more.
Once I knew there was checks coming, I'm like, yeah, I better go check that.
No, that was funny. It'd be like 8 a.m. clockwork. What was it, every Wednesday?
Wednesdays, yeah.
Every Wednesday, he'd come in, and he'd walk in there, and be like, what the heck are you doing here? He goes, mail. I'm like,
Mail time.
I'm like, this is new, okay.
This is new.
Didn't know you checked
After we missed about 6 grad card invitations.
They were all in there.
All the graduation
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah, the kids
Sorry,
weren't lying
kids.
that they invited us.
Sorry that the boys missed your grad parties, Brandon.
Yeah.
Check the mail.
Yeah. Haley didn't even want to go. She wanted to stay in Arizona.
Yeah.
So
I came back. I used up my go back home days for Brandon's wedding.
That one.
So-
was
you
it
only got one
worth it?
Huh?
You only got one?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was
I'm
just to
busy.
see. Yeah.
I am busy. We
was
have a lot of games.
Just to see
We
these
can't
two
just
idiots.
stop baseball seasons
Hey,
for
my
me to
wedding,
come
yeah,
back
you can.
here.
Yeah.
So I guess that already answers my question. What was it like running a business from Arizona?
No, it was chaotic. It was hard. And you couldn't really prepare for it just because I didn't know what was going to go wrong. I didn't know what was going to be the hard part of it. I didn't know what was going to be easy. Definitely didn't guess right, so that was good. But we figured it out as we went. And we made it. We're here. Literally in the middle of taking a break from moving into our new space. I'll be here for the first couple months that we're in there, so that hopefully any hiccups that there are between, just getting in there and getting rolling, I can at least be like feet on the ground here for, and not taking phone calls of panicking people out in Arizona.
That's you. Not a customer service kind of guy.
Yeah.
HR quality?
There's supposed to be a fire.
But now that I know, what went poorly, learning experience, and we can do better when I up and leave end of January here. So
Okay.
I anticipate it'll go much easier, but with these two, I really never know what to expect. So we will see how 2023 goes.
I feel like I have my mom just scolding me right now, like, looking at me, like, yeah, get your shit together.
Well, what was it? I don't think I was back from Arizona, but it was like right before I left or something, or maybe it was even last summer. I don't know. Time mushes together. I don't even know what today is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I come in the middle of the day. I thought nobody would be here. I came in to like grab something, and there's like a table set up out on the turf. There's like bloody paper towels all over the desk, and I was like,
Was that Bo?
What happened? No, it wasn't. Here's what happened. Brandon decided that he needed to...
this is his bow. Yes! Oh, no.
Brandon...
It was like 2 summers ago.
Brandon,
No, it was not. That was last summer.
Brandon wanted to do some, target practice here in No Name.
He wanted to slide his bow.
Get my bow down
And
there.
he,
Oh, God.
literally had his thumb up in front of his
He
bow.
shot his thumb.
He shot himself in the thumb. And I show up
You were smarter than
post-accident.
that.
Listen,
He's not.
And there's blood everywhere. The Band-Aids are just strewn all over the counter.
Which thumb? Let's see it.
His left. It's healed now.
So, that's just, the kind of,
still functional.
hard left turns you gotta expect.
Listen, in my defense, I didn't have my holder, so I'm on a picnic table, just I don't know, left hand's just doing something. Just,
Yeah.
Hanging out right
Right in front of the arrow.
she was dialed in though.
Sweet Jesus.
Smoked that thing from 80 yards away. Bottom line.
Did you get it in that season?
And about 8
I
centimeters
didn't,
away,
I didn't
too.
go out that season actually. I was too busy trying to run a business. All right.
Oh, God.
Morning classes and evening classes are not very good times to go hunting.
No.
Didn't work
So
out
he just
very well.
does it in our parking lot. In the middle of during his lunch break.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I didn't hear about that.
Brandon lunch breaks are my favorite because you never know what he's doing. He's shooting.
Neither does he.
He's rollerblading.
He doesn't either.
He's
Yeah.
kayaking.
He's napping.
He's napping on
Hey.
the floor.
In a 95-degree gym, he will just lay down and he's out. It makes no sense.
You're a rare
Yeah.
breed.
Yeah.
Yep.
One word answer.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. You really have to keep your,
You gotta be on your toes, man.
I was going to say.
You gotta be on your toes.
Oh, my sweet.
Now you're gonna give me 20,000 more square foot.
I was going to say.
He's gonna start shooting inside now.
Correct.
I
Yes.
figured it out.
Duke's going to hear this shattering glass and. Oh, shit.
My bad.
Literally, no. Today I walked in and there's a huge chunk of wood ripped off the wall laying on the ground, and I'm like, "What's that?
We needed to spruce the place
What's
up.
that?"
a
They
little.
stare at each other. They're like, "You see the electrician? Must have done that." And I just keep staring at them.
One of us said plumber, the other one said electrician. You're like, damn, we're busted.
And then I was like, "So it was you guys?" Chatter's like, "No." Brandon's like, "Yeah."
Ain't no little white paint can't fix.
It'll buff. It's fine.
Yeah.
Buff it out. Sweet boy.
And that was the last rack that we had to get into. We were rushing because we were tired. So we took a chunk of the wall with us.
Little keepsake.
Good job, Lou.
My bad. No, I'm really excited actually for your guys' move. So tell me a little bit about the move over across the street and what do you guys all have in store this upcoming winter? Because I saw you posted something about, was it baseball?
Yeah. I'm hoping I can still get that off the ground. Gonna have to change pay structure and stuff on it a little bit. Ended up getting told that I'll have to be in Arizona way sooner than I thought I was gonna have to be. Just thinking back on when I was out there last year, I figured it'd be similar. I'm back a month sooner, so that takes a whole 4 weeks out of what we had planned. So we're still kind of bumping around with that, but we'll change it around. It won't be as big as I wanted it to be, but we'll get there eventually. I just want to have an opportunity for a lot of these baseball, softball kids in the area to just have access to what I've learned and all that. But we're going to have, a solid wrestling area. It's not going to be roll mats out when we can and, get to wrestling. They have their own, designated area, walled off. It's going to be theirs whenever they need it. That's absolutely huge because we've gone from rolling mats out on Saturday mornings to having a space over in the Pickwell Mall to now went into a building, got out of that building, back to rolling mats out on the floor. So I'm excited that they're going to have their own area that they can use whenever necessary. Just because, good. Yay, we don't have to turn people away. I hate saying, no, we can't do that. No, we don't have time for that. So now that we have the space that we need, it's going to be a lot easier to accommodate more activities, I guess. And then the biggest thing is, our group sizes are going to be a lot easier to sustain and a lot easier to deal with. When we got in here, it felt huge. It felt big. Year one, we're like, wow, this is so much room. Year two hit, we're like, oh, crap. We were supposed to be here for 5 years, and we are out of room. And winters especially get hard, because in the summers we can crack the garage door open, we can take kids outside. We don't have that luxury in the winter, because we're in glorious Ohio, and it gets brutal out there. So, 5 times more space, it's going to accommodate a lot more kids.
You guys are going to have a lot of room.
Yeah.
A lot of room.
Absolutely.
So much room for activities.
That is not your toothbrush.
We're going to build bunk beds.
So much room.
Oh, the fact that everyone just got that. Oh, that was perfect. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, that's pretty cool. Definitely sounds like you guys have, a lot on the horizon. It's definitely going to be good to kind of see how everything starts progressing over the next few months. I mean, right now, you're in that moving phase. So right now it's kind of like you have this vision, and then once it's all said and done, that's when the real fun begins.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, size this whole time has been a huge limiting factor. Now that, we've kind of feel like we don't have to be so stressed about that, it feels a lot more free. We'll be able to just haul kids in at this point. So, whoop.
Yeah.
Any questions from the peanut gallery?
Oh, God.
I got one.
Let's see what you got.
You go for me, since college was the last time that I had, let's say, upper ends of technology. I mean, you go to the private sector, especially when you just open a brand new gym. Funds are obviously not going to be there, so you just do the basics: dumbbells, cable machines, racks. Then you go from that to the Reds, which is obviously a professional baseball organization. They got just a crap ton of updated equipment, things like top-notch stuff. How was that transition going from to what we have here to having to relearn how to use a lot of that stuff?
So, fortunately, and this is where we're super spoiled, we have an incredible sports science department. And they handle all the data intake and basically shuffling through all that data and getting us the important parts. It's definitely a learning curve, getting used to having that to look at and being able to go in okay, this kid has had some complaints about maybe a hamstring for a couple weeks now, let's jump in and see what his hamstring output looks like, and being able to go in and seeing the exact imbalances he has, jumping on force plates, looking at all the imbalances he has on there, and more or less being able to tune in to exactly what we think's wrong instead of being blind, knowing this kid has hamstring aches, and kind of just having to trial and error things until we get there. It's kind of feels like we're cheating, honestly. Going from here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, we don't even have we had nothing. We have nothing here. Hopefully, we can change that.
What force plates did you guys use out there?
Oh, I forget the exact name. We use Vald.
Vald.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
And they we have a lot of stuff through them, so everything goes into the same database.
Cool.
And we get really cool graphs and charts, and we look at that stuff. I mean, we test hamstrings once a month on Nord boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Love
gosh.
it. So fun. We
I'm
test
so
hamstrings
jealous.
once a month, and then we'll test counter movement jump, squat jumps every 2 weeks, stuff like that. But like, it's just cool, and it's nice also being able to explain to athletes, like, yes, we want to see your numbers going up, but you're, like, end of the season, like, if your numbers are going down, like, you're tired, dude. Baseball's a long season. And, like, we have a few kids that just, like, were pretty bummed over, like, their end of season stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, don't stress out over it.
Don't
Like,
focus
look at
on
all
that.
these other numbers. Like, these are beautiful numbers. Like, but just because you're not jumping higher, like, you are shot right now. Go home, take a couple weeks off. Like, if you go back in and test, you're probably going to be way higher than PR right now. So,
No, that's awesome.
It's cool.
I'm so jealous you got force plates. I would love to have force plates here. Gosh.
yeah, we started messing with, like, iso belt squat stuff
Yeah.
right when I was leaving. It was cool. It was cool watching the guys test. There's definitely a learning curve on it because, like, when they pull up, especially because we're using, like, a centered anchor.
The kid box that we're talking about?
No, so this was just on our, like,
Okay.
force plates that we test jump on. They're just doing a belt squat on top of those.
Mhm.
An iso belt squat. But, like, when they put so much force, it's going to, like, wiggle you
Yeah.
if you're not, like, staying perfectly centered. So just kind of, like, watching the guys work through that and, like, figure out, like, hey, what's going on? It was cool to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And they get super competitive with that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
anytime we can create a competitive environment in the weight room, absolutely all for it.
That's awesome. Gosh.
But we started doing, like, cool, like, record boards that go up on our TVs. The guys could see, like, where they're at. And, like, just to, again, encourage more competitiveness with, you know, all the different types of technology we use.
See, Christmas gift. Force plates. Let's make it happen.
Santa Claus right there.
That's a fat Christmas gift,
Yeah.
man.
That'd be so much fun, though. I think that would
Yeah.
actually be oh my gosh. I can't think of really a facility in this area. There might be one down in Dayton that does use force plates. I mean, that would be a wonderful thing to have. We can
Yeah.
talk about that at another time. though.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
use them a lot in rehab, too. So there's all kinds
Oh,
of
yeah.
different tests they use for rehab. But a lot of work, like, as far as, like, their elasticity and stuff, because that's the
Mhm.
biggest. I mean, guys are strong.
There we go.
It's not good at turning on and off.
Yeah.
You know.
You could even make an argument for like, symmetry in the numbers as opposed to like asymmetry.
Right.
But like an asymmetry.
Well,
sport
and it's
like
especially
baseball is.
interesting, you know, looking at it with baseball players because they're some of the most what is the word for that? Not symmetrical? What is that word?
Asymmetrical?
Asymmetrical. Holy crap. I think I just had a stroke.
I saw your eyes. Whoop.
Asymmetrical. They're, like, imbalances everywhere.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So it's especially interesting to look at them on that and, you know, like, give a percentage that, like, okay, we want your imbalances to be within this percent. Like, they're going to be there probably, but
yeah.
try to keep them reeled in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Oh my gosh, I nerd out on half the stuff that I read right now about all the force plates, and like not to mention now were yours portable force plates or was it like built into a system?
We had both. We mainly used portable, but we built our own deck for them that we just set them down in, and it keeps them like stable, and they're super easy to remove.
That would be so nice to have. I mean, it'd be super simple. Portable force plates, put them down. You could. I mean, think about how many kids you guys have here at No Name. Think about if you guys could do that. How many people you could get in, screen, and then you could say, okay, you're in this sport. You have these asymmetries. Maybe that asymmetry is beneficial to you at that time, but just having that available and then maybe even critiquing like their training program that way.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm done nerding out.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's how I felt when I got there because it was just like all the technology in the world.
Kid in
I
the
was
candy
like, wow,
store.
this is crazy.
Oh man.
Crazy. And then they just started doing the trials on the Catalyst GPS systems
Oh.
to manage or to monitor workload. Sick.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's like a whole other freaking world, like monitoring workload.
Is that like the body temperature, the heart rate, blood oxygen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the only way we had to monitor workload outside of the weight room was they would use elbow bands on pitchers. Just see, basically the torque output they're creating on their arm, and like if it was too high one day, they would have to pull back the next day, etc. But that's as far as like it was just hard for us because like position players, we didn't have a way to know like if they're going out and just getting absolutely cooked. Are you all right?
Hmm?
Fat ball trotter's having a
This is
tough go in this chair right now.
this is how I move. We are cramped.
Get that man some water.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh man. Wow. So you are here for how long then? until you have to, or when do you go back to Arizona?
End of January. I'm out of town the 9th and 10th to go out to that event in San Diego. It's like PBS, CCS. They're doing like a big convention out there. So that's where we'll do the award thing.
Okay. Good.
I have to get like real person clothes. Like, dress like business professional. I don't have those, so.
Yeah,
You can have dress pants.
busy.
Got them for a few.
Those are you wearing dress pants right now?
Those look like dress pants.
I don't wear women's dress pants.
Yeah.
They got side
Dress
pockets.
pants with lots of pockets.
Side pockets.
So cargo pants.
Yeah. Those are his dress boots, though.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
Morgan gave you shit for those the other day.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a well broken in pair of boots.
Well broken, man. That's what you're calling that?
Yeah, I can see your toes.
You're about to shoot through the front of them.
Yeah. Looks like you shot an arrow through it.
I have, actually.
Oh god.
Brendan, that was a good question. Good job.
I got another one, actually.
Well, shoot, man, go for it.
Kind of like coming back to our episode 3 topic was like sports performance and specific training. How much, I mean, obviously they're all baseball players, but how much just general training do these guys?
Do the professional athletes do?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So like
A lot.
And so like when we have our 14-year-old kid come in and his dad's got him playing every travel ball league and says he needs to work on his baseball specific training and stuff like that. Like how much is that just general?
Like
What's the percentage of general fitness that you've prepared for your professional athletes versus your sports specific percentage?
That's a good way to put it. I was getting there, but you got good job.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
No, dude, that's
is that what this
Yeah.
entire like time of me being gone has just been you making words for Brendan?
If
Yes.
you would listen,
yeah.
No, I mean like in the gym.
Yeah. No, we do a great job of bouncing off of each other and stuff like that.
You guys practice that.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Brandon's.
Finishing each other's sentences.
we hang out a lot together.
Yeah.
Brandon / Trotter's question.
Yeah. Well, our owner just works us to death, you know. Yeah.
Anyway, back to you.
Are you done?
Go on.
No.
Are you finished?
I love this job. Let me clarify, though. Yeah. Let me very specifically clarify how much I love this job. Yeah.
Anyway, honestly, I'd say like 10%. 10% would be. I don't even know if it's truly sports specific, but it's like 10% if even.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's exactly what I was saying last week.
Bingo. That's literally what we ranted about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should've
Baseball players
came-
are
I
the
should've-
kid in the transverse plane. It's all the same shit.
I should have came in and been like 90% is sports specific, just to like really piss you off.
You would have
That's
lost.
I
He would have just stopped right out.
You should. He stood up at one point during that podcast.
You're just standing yelling at the mic.
No, he just. It was just mid comment. It was just so natural. He just stood up.
I can just see him like.
Yeah. His height never changed from the chair to the standing up, but he was up.
Yeah, no.
Got a little
It's,
red in the face.
That's just weird.
Can't wait there's video in here.
Hopefully they'll be in your office over there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fantastic.
I want to get you guys like one of the cool like on air signs.
Oh
Yes.
my
Yeah,
god.
be official then. Oh my gosh, that'd be fantastic.
But yeah, are you happy with that
That's all I
answer?
needed here.
Yeah, I think you affirmed a lot of his beliefs with that answer.
Yeah. Now, like, obviously it's a rabbit hole, like, when it comes to, like, what we do and why we do it, but as far as saying, like, this is only for baseball players, like, no.
No, it's not
And I don't
absolute.
even, that 10%, like, it's fluid. Like, I don't even think it's truly 10%.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of stuff that we do because of, you know, the workload they have on their arm on the field. We put this in because of that.
Mhm.
Don't even know if I would say that, like, it was just for baseball players, though. Like,
Yeah.
really anyone can do it.
Very nice.
But yeah.
Right, I got one.
Shoot.
Stop. He's already smiling. I don't want him to say
No,
it.
it's a solid one, I think. So, was there, if any, anything that you implemented from no name into the professionals and into that world, and vice versa? Is there anything that you pulled while you were out there with your experience that you're going to be wanting to implement when you're back here?
As far as stuff that I got out there that I would like to implement back here, obviously sports science is a lot of it. That's expensive, so it's gonna be a little time till I can get all that in here. But now that I've experienced it, it's definitely at the top of my list to get a few of those things. Now I don't want to go sports science crazy, because yes, numbers matter, but at the end of the day, every athlete, they're all gonna be different.
Don't get lost in the numbers.
Don't get lost in the numbers, because especially with the numbers that I've had thrown at me out there, holy Moses, you could get so lost in there. It's just there's days where I had packets of biomechanical analysis on pictures laid in front of me, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. What am I doing here?
Get that imposter syndrome.
Holy cow! Literally, I'm like, I don't know how I got here, because I'm looking at all these different angles and velocities, and I'm like, this is literally a different language to me.
I'm in physics class.
It was unbelievable. I don't know. So yeah, don't get lost in the numbers. Let the people who are there to get lost in the numbers be lost in the numbers. You just ask them hey, what numbers are important? What numbers do I need to look at? As far as stuff from here that I got to take out there, I think I got super fortunate in the fact that when I landed out there, the staff that I am with out there is freaking incredible, and we all believe in very similar things, and we all have very similar methodologies as far as what we do. So stuff that we practice here, I saw so much of it already being used out there. So it was really cool. It was cool to know that hey, on the right track.
Yeah.
She didn't hire dumbasses.
Yeah. She was damn close though with me. It was borderline there for a minute, and then got it figured out.
But yeah, no, it was super cool to see the transfer without having to prompt it or without having to mention it. Yeah, it was fun. A lot of great minds out there. I love my staff out there. I love my staff here.
But if you had to pick, though.
Yeah, what staff would it be?
I mean, one staff eats a lot of little Debbies.
That's true.
We're going to get that sponsorship.
Yeah. Little Debbie about to sponsor this podcast in order to get all of your, whatever you said,
they're not
force
yet.
plates.
Don't sue us, Little Debbie. No, they're not sponsoring it yet.
Yeah.
But hopefully one day.
Yeah.
One day
We just forgot to turn the paperwork back in.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I blame Brandon.
so weird. You guys do forget to turn in paperwork on another round.
Oh! I forgot. That must have been in that group text that you never answered.
Yeah.
If you wanted us to fill that out. Or...
I was dealing with jumping cactus and
Yeah.
other
Running away from
wildlife
cattle.
out there.
Oh my
Other
gosh.
wildlife. I got horse poop in my mouth while I was out there.
Ugh.
Something you could
It was
have left
intentional.
out.
But I had to
was
make a
gonna say,
decision.
all the things you could talk about.
Yeah.
You throw that in there.
You're really full of horse shit.
Dad joke number 2 of the day.
I was
That's
going
all
to
right.
say. He's on a roll.
I'm practicing. I'm going to speak it into existence here.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious.
She's gone.
Dang it.
Steph's not out there.
Yeah. That's all right. She'll come back around.
I'm hoping, eventually, some of my staff comes out and visits me in Arizona, but none of them really care about me enough to come out there. So, it's fine.
Sounds like an invitation,
Hey.
you guys.
I tried to.
I've tried to get Steph out there 1,000 times.
I'm aware. She didn't think you were serious.
I'm serious. This is me, on record. Steph, I'm serious. Come visit me in Arizona. So we can both get
Go to
lost in the
Target.
wilderness.
Yeah.
The allure of Target.
That's where I got my hiking bag. This Target.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Protect you from the cattle?
Nope. But it had the straws.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet Lord.
So basically, I also did a lot of water bag training while I was out there. I'm so stable now.
You almost fell out of your chair, didn't you?
But I don't have a water bag on me. I'm just me not dealing well with gravity.
Oh my gosh. Those would be a lot of fun to have around.
We have a lot of them out there. We use them a lot.
I mean, they're so wonderful.
Yeah. We use them a lot.
What else? What else random? What's your number one advice for the kids that are transitioning into college or stuff along those lines, and they're going to have to deal with long-distance relationships?
I feel like I'm a bad person to speak. Oh wait, no,
I feel like
not.
you're a pro
No,
at this.
you're a great person to speak about.
No, you're right. For anyone who doesn't know, that is listening, I now live in Arizona 9 months out of the year, and this past year at least, my husband, AJ, lived in Canada for 6 months of the year. So yeah. I think, like, our thing was we were just both busy. At least I was busy. He was hanging out at the camp with the dogs a lot. I feel like that's not very good advice.
Just stay busy.
Just stay busy. Don't think about each other.
I can see a lot of successful relationships happen after that advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we always joke that, like, when we actually live together, we're gonna have to take, like, yearly vacations, but separately. Because, like, we've literally never lived together for a full year, I don't think.
I believe
Like,
I heard that stat.
Like, we have always
Since you
been
guys
in
were
different
married, yeah.
states or something. Like, we just don't... Like, I'm pretty sure, like, a week after our wedding, he left and went to some football team. I don't even know where he went at that point. Was it
New
Cleveland?
Kansas?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. He was at New Orleans before the wedding,
Yeah.
and he got back right before the wedding.
Made a couple stops at
This was
Green
like
Bay,
the
Kansas City.
yeah.
And,
This was like the year or two before I got here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just kind of picked the pieces up as
Yeah,
as
so
you
I
guys
just-
tell the stories.
But I just hang out. I don't know. I get a lot of dogs. You can't break up if you have pets together.
Solid. Think
Man,
think about the
We
animal.
are definitely not a dating or marriage counselor.
Yeah, don't ask guys. I don't
Just
know.
figure it out.
He's my friend. He's my best friend, so I feel like that makes it easier. We literally, when we are together, we do everything together, and we're both equally stupid. So like that helps. It's like we do stupid stuff, and we're like, dang, nobody else would put up with this shit.
Oh my lord.
Like right now, he probably has that bobcat flipped over in the ditch, and we're all just hanging out in here.
He's probably laughing though.
He's
He's probably having a good time.
Man, I wish those guys could have seen it.
Oh man.
But no, marry your best friend. These guys can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they did a good job. These two beside me, out kicking their coverage. So
Mm-hmm. You got to fake it till you make it,
10 out
guys.
of 10 boys.
Yeah.
Get that ring on your finger, you're good.
Yeah. Put a ring on it before she figures it out.
Sweet.
Just confuse them enough beforehand
Yes.
that once it happens, they're like, wait,
Yeah, wait.
what happened?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You two have any other questions?
That's all I got.
Yeah. As soon as we quit recording, I'll have something.
How
pretty-
many
pretty
times are we gonna watch Grinch between now and Christmas? Because I'm about to put 3 TVs in the gym.
I think we got through it 4 or 5 times in one day, so...
I love
Do you
it.
do the math?
I'm out.
You're out. What do you mean you're out?
I'm out.
Starting today, I will watch it every day until Christmas. Maybe New Year's. I will at least watch it one time a day.
Okay, here
Every
you go.
day. And the good Grinch. Not the new crappy...
Jim Grant.
If any of our athletes
Benedict Cumberbatch
like the
Grinch.
new Grinch better than the Jim Carrey Grinch, don't come back to my gym.
I will find you.
That is just disgusting.
Oh Lord, I didn't know you were that into the Grinch.
So, what's your favorite Grinch line? And you have to act like the Grinch.
Who? Me?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
I mean, go get in
Are you
character.
ready?
Figure, yeah,
I'm so ready.
Okay,
figure
hold
it
on.
out.
Hold on. Wait, I have 2.
Okay,
Can I
please.
do both?
Absolutely.
Okay,
You can do
ready?
both.
I gotta walk in.
Oh
Ready?
gosh, she's acting it out.
That's it. I'm not going.
And
And, when he's talking about Martha Mayhew, he says, she'll be on me like Fleagle flies on a flat-faced Fleagle horse. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Martha, baby, but the G train has left the station.
It's very in-depth.
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Well, I love the Grinch.
Okay, how many times do you think you've seen it?
Don't mess with me. I can't even put that numbers on that.
Oh gosh.
So
Okay.
every year, Thanksgiving to Christmas,
Since
at least
when?
once a day. It probably lasts 3 years at least.
Okay.
How many days is that?
90.
Thanksgiving to Christmas?
Mhm.
It's like 30.
Yeah, times 3.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing pretty
I
good.
wasn't following on. I wasn't following
Good
either.
thing
Thank
you're the
you.
pretty one.
You got
Like
me.
hell.
Okay, so there's
What? Are you kidding? God. Take your hat off. Show them.
Oh, there it is. Anyway, so there's 90.
It was great.
I'll give an extra 30 because there's many times that I've watched it more than once a day. So that's like 120, right?
Yep.
When I get migraines, I watch it even if it's not Christmas season. So there's probably an extra 10.
Wow.
Does it hurt to laugh though with the migraine?
I don't laugh. It soothes me.
We know that. Yeah.
Wait, it soothes. Wait, okay.
When I have a migraine, it's soothing. When I don't have a migraine, it's hilarious.
Oh.
It's like my
So it's
comfort
like
movie.
I was gonna say it's your comfort movie.
It's my
Yeah.
comfort movie.
Got it.
Okay.
Most people just eat ice cream, but
Yeah.
It's like Trotter. and
I'm
the Last on the
lactose
Prairie.
intolerant,
True.
Brandon.
that's a good point.
What'd you say?
I said I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't do ice
Oh,
cream.
we're well
I
aware.
poop everywhere.
We are well aware. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Your body responds really well to horse shit though.
I had a cut in my finger, and I got horse poop in it. And I had to decide if I was going to put horse poop in my mouth, or maybe have my finger fall off.
Could have used one of them jumping cactus and pricked it out.
I was in the middle of the desert, and I did not want to do that because that would hurt. So, I looked around, and I made sure none of the people that were on the horseback ride were looking. And I stuck my finger in my mouth, and I sucked the horse poop out of my cut. Survival.
Wait, time. Does AJ know this before he kissed you on the mouth?
I don't know.
He just found
I
out.
feel like I definitely told him that I
He's gonna
put
find
horse
out
poop
via
in my mouth.
podcast. Oh my god.
Okay, but also, like, I didn't see him for like 3 months post, and I cleansed my mouth, you know,
Unlikely.
prior
All right.
to that.
We'll circle back. Let's circle back.
But my pinky's still attached, so who didn't get gangrene? Me.
You're alive. It's all that
Made
matters.
it.
All
My
matters.
immune system, 10 out of 10.
Steel trap.
Yeah. From Labor Day all the way up until the day after Thanksgiving when she's preparing to start the Grinch, she also doesn't brush her teeth, so she gets into character.
Yeah,
with the
because he
Grinch.
has the little beetles that crawl around on his teeth.
True.
Oh my god. Any
I
other
like the
questions
Grinch.
from you two?
Preferably Grinch related, but anything I want to do.
I have one more, if that's it.
Yeah, go for it.
What would be any advice you have for any aspiring strength and conditioning coaches?
Oh, I love this question. You guys are going to be here for so long. No, but seriously, so after I left one of my internships, I felt like I was not meant to be a strength and conditioning coach because they told me a lot that I did not bring the juice. And I'm not like this type of coach that like screams and yells and like whatever, just for no reason. But I feel like that's what a strength and conditioning coach is made out to be. Just someone who's always in a freaking muscle shirt with a mustache screaming as loud as possible. And that's just not how I coach. I more so like...
He
shut your
just shaved his mustache off before you got back.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It was like
and-
two caterpillars mating.
Oh,
God bless.
Yeah.
like better or worse than Sam's?
Worse.
Worse
No,
than
it was
Sam's?
better. His was way thicker. Yeah. Sam's got a
Sam's.
long way.
Sam was on TV with his mustache.
Yeah. It looked thicker on TV because of the shadow.
I told TSN to thicken it up. But anyways, so like frequently I would get like graded poorly on a lot of my practical application stuff because I didn't bring juice to the session. When at the end of the day, like, again, that's not who I am. I am the type of coach who would rather I would just have a conversation with you about what you're doing. I don't want to just like scream at you and tell you what to do. Like, I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to ask you what you're feeling. And I want you to more or less lead me to what you need to fix than me just come out and say it. And I also want athletes to know, like, when I do yell, that it is genuine, whether it's me being pissed off or whether it's me being, like, truly excited. I don't want them to just be so used to hearing me screaming and yelling that it's just white noise at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do, like, give them something of excitement, they don't know if it's genuine or not. So, like, when my kids hear me yell, like, they know it's, like, it's legit. So just don't let, I don't know, what you think a strength coach is or what other people think a strength coach is, basically ruin your hopes and dreams of becoming that. Because if it wasn't for Morgan Gregory, he talked me off the ledge of basically stopping what I was pursuing. I went and had coffee with him. This is when he was with the Reds. And he was like, look, like, that's how I am. I have the exact same personality. I'm a professional strength and conditioning coach. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, and that's when we came and did this. So, yeah. Strength and conditioning is for all personalities for the most part. Have some feel, and you're going to be good at what you do.
That's awesome. That's good advice.
Yeah, no, of course.
That's very good. I'd rather take the person who actually knows their stuff as opposed to the person who's boisterous, loud, and doesn't really know anything.
And it was already kind of hard, like, coming in. And I'm sure, like, this is, like, beating a dead horse. Like, being a female going into strength conditioning, like, I already felt like I had to, like, tick off certain boxes on the checklist because, like, I'm just different, At the time when I started this, there really weren't many females in it. There's a lot more now, and I love saying that, but I felt a lot more pressure to try to blend in with the guys when that wasn't what I should have been doing. I just had to be genuine to who I was and how I coach and let that speak for itself.
No one can be you except you.
That's rude because I know how you meant that.
Oh. Take it back. All right. The last question to lead us out.
Last question.
Because everybody wants to know. Haley, how big is AJ's arms?
Well, I don't know. Do I need to know exact measurements?
Yeah.
I ain't measured him for a long time. I think he's worried. They got smaller. I think last time he checked, they're like sitting at 20. Sitting at a solid 20.
That's awesome.
Mother of God. I know the picture he's got, like...
Yeah. Photoshop.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Old ladies touch them all the time at the games.
I believe
Like
that.
when he does meet and greets, like the old ladies are just like rubbing on his arm.
Trying to get sponsored. Yeah. Sponsored by Social Security and Medicare.
Like denture. Lou.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Life alert.
I hope that wasn't the wrong size because he's gonna get really mad if I was.
Oh no, it probably is.
One of his teammates' moms went up to him yesterday at the celebration and told him that he looked smaller. I thought he was gonna cry right there.
I would have.
Well, first she came up to me and told me, and I acted really excited, and I was like, "Go tell AJ, like."
Oh, you set him up.
And she's
What
like,
a jerk.
okay. And like she goes over so excited, and she tells him, and his face is just like defeated. He's like, really?
Oh, no.
Like eyes welling up. I'm like, yes. And then she turns and looks at me, so confused, and I'm like, you're so good, you did good.
Oh my Lord. Oh.
So yeah, anyone listening, if you see AJ in the streets, just yell at him that he's little.
See him
Oh.
in the streets. Like a hobo. Look like a hobo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just tell every guy that you see with a mullet, hey, you look small. Just keep it walking.
He's chest.
Oh my Lord. No, but Haley, thank you very much again for coming on and chatting with the three of us and kind of give us a little bit of insight into your your adventures out in Arizona and coming back to Ohio.
Yeah, of course.
But we'll kind of plan on our second interview for next week.
Who's it gonna be?
We're not
Are you allowed to
sure.
tell?
We won't announce it just yet.
I didn't know if it was gonna be Austin.
Could be.
Oh.
So
Very well could be.
yeah, we'll pick someone.
We're going to have to bring the camera in for that one, because that man is beautiful.
Big football guy.
But as always, guys, please like the page, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and pass it along to other people. But we will see you guys next time.